Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is 7.20's new technology, the mid Tidehunter. There's so many reasons as to why mid Tidehunter is good, but I will start focusing on the most obvious one. The patch was not as clear as it could be to how much they buffed level 1's Anchor Smash. The skill used to do 45 AoE physical damage around Tidehunter. Now it applies your base damage into it, meaning that if you have a Quelling Blade, you now have a 120 damage physical AoE nuke after reduction into creeps. It is almost impossible to miss any range CS. You are already hard to be killed in lane, you farm ancients, but let's focus in the lane first. As you can see, it's almost impossible for the Tidehunter to miss any CS, and if you pay attention, he started this lane without a stealth shoot. Storm doesn't offer that much right click damage at the start, and you can get level 2 Kraken anyways. On top of that, in a lane you get level 2 faster, you have the chance to completely run a hero down thanks to Gush and the fact that your Anchor Smash deals 100% more damage than the last patch. Also, look how Matumba, even though he has the power spike advantage, waits for his courier to deliver a salve so that if he dives, he will have the salve to withstand tower hits as he gets out. Storm is forced to commit his Fairy Fire and a salve super early. Since Storm has pretty poor attack range, Matumbaman doesn't mind not having damage block early on since he can always get the Anchor Smash on him when he tries to get the range creep CS because Matumba is always pulling the creeps. In fact, under the influence of Anchor Smash, look how futile are the efforts of the Storm to actually get any CS there. Every time the Tidehunter draws aggro, the enemy mid needs to either try and trade even for a deny, but since your level 2 Anchor Smash with Quelling Blade deals 160 damage, it's pretty hard for him to get a deny, or he has to approach your creep, but then it's very easy for you to get the Anchor Smash, meaning 50% of his damage reduced while you also secure the enemy range CS. There are heroes like Lin and Shadowfang that have a better time versus Tidehunter, but this matchup is awful for the Storm, and Matumbaman makes the best use of it possible. He does that so often, by the way, that look what happened. Storm gets the CS here, but since he took damage from the Anchor and Tide gets his bottle, he can just dive the Storm with the level 2 Gush. Mid Tidehunter is not something that we never saw, but it was not worth it most of the time because even if you won the lane, you wouldn't scale as much as other mid heroes since your hero has that huge cooldown, and that was pretty much what Tide will do besides, buy some teamfight items. The new Tidehunter builds though allow Tidehunter to fight at all times. He also farms Ancient super fast, he pushes waves super fast. Matumbaman can just dive the Storm until he's level 6 and he plays it super smart. He wears the Storm down since with Gush he can always get the Anchor Smash damage because of the slow. And as soon as the cooldowns are back, he finishes him off. Very similar to agility heroes, the mid-strength heroes are also spamming 1, 2, sometimes even more bracers. The magic resistance is definitely pretty good versus the Storm Spirit. And note how Matumbaman pretends to be looking for runes, and as the Storm moves to the range creep, he takes him down. Not only that, he holds to his stick for as long as possible, and look what unfolds. He only commits the Gush when the Dazzle dives deep enough so that he also dies, and Matumbaman even benefits from the experience before falling. When he respawns, since he's level 6, this is what happens. He just runs that hero down. Yeah, this is obviously not a great matchup for Tidehunter, but even then, he is very hard to bring down and he can farm Ancients at an absurd rate while also defending his tower. Treads is the best boots for this new right-click build for sure. Not only Tread switching is amazing for him, he gets raw damage from the boots that he uses when pushing lanes and farming jungle. Matumbaman finds himself an illusion here, and note how he preemptively uses the illusions as he approaches the Naga and immediately micros them to body block the hero. While Tide can farm Ancients and stuff, he groups bottom to get the tower first. Medallion is just a great item on Tide right now. Not only you farm faster with it, but since you're already super tanky with an equipped hardy spell, you can lose the armor and still dish a lot of damage without worrying about your own HP. The Mana Regen and the new upgraded Solar Crest are also great. One thing to mention as Matumba gets more levels is that he goes back for Kraken Shell. You do need some extra damage block to fight the Ancients, and well, you're against a carry Naga and Storm. The damage block is definitely good to have. Look what happens when the level 8 Storm gets gushed and Anchor Smashed. This is insane physical damage that the Storm just cannot itemize against. Against bursty heroes like Zeus or Lina, you can just get a range drop, but there's no play here, but play super defensively, not showing lane, and that is pretty good for the Tidehunter. He's gonna have a free game. In terms of items, there are Tidehunters going for all types of different builds. It looks like Solar Crest, Desolator, and Blink Dagger are core, but the order sometimes changes, and they usually always show up paired with a double bracer. A lot of people like Soul Ring, but as a Tidehunter, since you clear up the wave so well, and since you dominate your lane very hard against most matchups, getting the runes is also pretty good because you will be able to control the tempo of the game, and there's a lot of runes that you can actually use to get kills. Gush is a great spell, and as long as you get a double damage, a haste rune, an arcane rune, turn, it really allows you to go after kills. So the bottle, while a lot of people just like to build Soul Ring, getting the bottle and actually having the ability to choose when you want to pop your runes is super good in this hero. Blink Dagger is a nice item to have. It gives him reach onto the Storm, but he's not going to solo kill the Storm with Ravage 15 to 20 minutes into the game anymore. The Solar Crest is great protection against both the Naga and the Storm, while also increasing his damage into Ancients, and a very underrated aspect of the item is the fact that it can be used on catapults. One of the problems with Tide is that even with the right-click build, he doesn't push that well, but 70 attack speed with the armor on a catapult is amazing. One cool efficiency trick that Matumba constantly pulls off to save mana is drawing aggro from creeps in the lane to farm camps at the same time. He doesn't really fear anything, so he can just do that. He also constantly uses the agility treads when he only needs one attack on small creeps to increase the speed at which he farms so that he can push another lane or get faster to other camps. The Solar Crest is just incredible. Matumba plays super patient when Radiant engages here. He gets a 4-man Ravage, and one right click from the Terrorblade takes 30% of the Storm's HP thanks to the Solar Crest. Matumba gets a Blink Dagger once the Axe already has one too, so he can actually be follow-up through the Berserker's Call, or the Axe can follow up into the Ravage, allowing them to kill the slippery cores that Radiant has. Before that happens though, Matumba just pushes every lane as if he's a Timbersaw. At this stage, both heroes play quite similarly since they are hard to kill and they have decent AoE. The difference is that Tidehunter now scales into an amazing right-click core, whereas Timbersaw gets countered by BKBs, and he doesn't feel as strong in the middle lane and doesn't farm as fast as the Tidehunter. Before any right-click items, Matumba definitely played around his Ravage cooldown since he still lacks some burst damage, so he just wanted to show when he got that cooldown. He can't really jump the Storm here, and with so many heroes mid, he also focuses in farming jungle. Note that he's farming the Radiant side of the map though, which denies farm from the enemies, allowing the weaker heroes from his team to actually get safer farm. You can see that the gold is dead even right now, yet they can just explode the Timbersaw. And note that Matumbaman actually misses the Solar Crest, landing onto the Tusk. Timbersaw will die even faster. Look what the Solar Crest allows him to do later on. Storm tries to contest their push, and not only Tide is able to hit the tower with no fear, he has the threat of the Ravage that he doesn't need to use thanks to the Solar plus Anchor Smash damage. They keep trying to defend mid, and note the damage that the Anchor Smash does to a level 14 Timbersaw. This time he commits the Ravage to get the kill since Dazzle was there, and this hero is fearless when he plays from ahead like this. It gets to a point where Matumbaman stops thread switching for Anchor Smash because he is at a point where the double Anchor Smash with Strength Threads clears the wave, and without, he doesn't, so he would actually lose too much time, so he would rather waste mana than time, but you know, that's just a very small tip. Dazzle is another core item for Tidehunters right now. This hero has a strong Dispel, which makes him a great frontliner in pushes, and getting that minus armor makes his push more scary and hard to deal with. You're also applying the Dazzle in AoE, which is crazy good. Look at this fight here. Matumbaman tries to follow up to the Tusk. The Tusk dies, and Radiant decides to engage on the Tidehunter. Not only his strong Dispel frees him from the Storm before Radiant can follow up, as he notices that all of the Radiant lineup wants to fight, he goes for the Ravage, and just note how much damage he does. His Anchor Smash is dealing 500 damage to the Storm. Dazzle explodes, he's forced to buyback but to no avail since the Storm is already dead. The usual second item that Tides are getting after Dazzle is Crystallis into Daedalus. Not only you can one-shot creep waves and deal even more damage, Crystallis is the cheapest raw damage item right now, and it just synergizes amazingly well with Tidehunter and his Anchor Smash. Another great benefit of running a mid Tidehunter is that he gets levels faster, and once he reaches level 15, your 40% experience talent makes it super easy to reach that level 25 that more than doubles your already insane right-click damage. This game looks dumb, but it was not a stomp. The gold advantage is here negligible, but thanks to the talent, he's level 21 at 23 minutes, which is a meeple level of experience gain. The fact that you can solo kill heroes and you never die in fights pretty much gives you the chance of utilizing that experience talent to its utmost limit. And yeah, all of these items also make you great at taking Roshan. Note that it's only the Tusk and a Tide going for Roshan here, yet he falls insanely quickly. It looks like the Terrorblade is helping, but he's not there. With that Aegis, they push, and even though the Naga gets a beautiful Manta dodge onto the X-Call, the Ravage with that Gush Solar Crest makes the Naga feel so squishy. While Matumbaman creates space, they get the buildings and they get out. And yeah, guys, I am sorry for the quick video today. Right now, I'm at the process of being tried out as a coach. I don't think I'm actually qualified to do it, but I'm trying my best. And I'm also trying to cast. So I really appreciate all your likes, comments, and subscribes into the channel. It really helps me. As you all know, I do have a Patreon where I actually cast videos for my viewers. And it's just a great way for you to help me while also getting something in return. I have a Twitter where I talk Dotes and memes. I have a Twitch where I play Dota, Artifact, and I also cast Dota. And I do have a Discord channel as well as Instagram that you can check out. Thank you all for being here, and bye.